Hello YouTube. Are you as lazy as I am and you don't feel like cooking, but you have time? Let's say it's a Sunday. Wake up in the morning and you try to figure out what to do. So, and you're not so like well off so that you can only afford the cheapest cut of meat. So what we're gonna do is use those cheap cuts of meat to braise beef, and it's gonna be a 5 hour long process. Heat up your oven to like a low 145 degrees Celsius, and then we're going to braise it and make sure you have about 5 hours of time to kill. I would suggest PlayStation games. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna sear the beef, and you're gonna just pour in a little bit of olive oil. You can put butter if you want to. Also, it'll give it a nice flavor. But what you want to do is you want to brown all sides. Okay. While that's going, while we're waiting, we're just gonna saute some like aromatics, and since we're lazy, we're not gonna even cut it up like properly. I'm just gonna dice it into like little pieces, not little pieces, like quarters. There you go. You even forgot to add oil. Let's add oil. Two large onions should be enough. One and 3/4 should be enough. And with the garlic, kind of you do want to peel them, but like basically, I like it a little bit garlicky, and so we're just gonna get the skin. Salt and pepper. Ooh, there's no good salt. And a little bit of garlic powder. And we're just gonna brown that on all sides. So the meat was about like, I think €4 a kilo. Like I think it was on sale. It came in a 2 kilo bag. And this is about a kilo's worth of food. It has the ribs in it, but the spine in it. But that makes the area and the broth a lot better. Not even gonna bother with chopping these up because we're gonna blend it all later. I might have needed a bigger pot. The next ingredient that you can use is basically a can of tomatoes or a couple of canned tomatoes, and that makes the base of the braised beef. But I'm gonna use fresh tomatoes since I have a bunch of them. They were on sale at the market also. So we're just gonna use about a kilo of tomatoes. I'm gonna save the next for. I'm gonna try to redo another recipe. And it's my comfort food. That should be enough for comfort food. So as we're lazy, we're just gonna dice it into like quarters. Doesn't really matter. We're done with that. Now we're gonna flip and rotate to get the browning on the beef. There's a large fat cap here, and it's good to put that on top so the fat like renders down and melts in. So once it starts looking like this, what you want to do is you want to layer it and then transfer the beef over. Now we're going to transfer the beef over. And make sure the fat cap is up. There's going to be some fond left over. And we're just going to deglaze that with, you can do wine, but I have water. And now just pour the rest of it in. Now you should have your fat cat up. It's brown and deglazed. You could add like a little bit of pepper because I didn't add pepper while I was flipping it. But basically the recipe is simple, so you don't really have to do anything. So we're just gonna add that pepper. And add all the tomatoes on top. and some salt to taste, but you can always add it later. And there you go. Find a lid and stick it in the oven for the next about 5 hours or 6 hours. The more the better, the more the merrier. Bye bye.
Meanwhile.
With all that metal to slow you down? I got it.
So it's been about 3 hours. Got another couple of hours left to go, and but it's a good time to make some sort of like side dish. You can make pasta with this. It's like fresh pasta is always good with braised beef and like the juices that come with it. The other thing we can make, since we have leftover potatoes, is gnocchi. So gnocchi is just potatoes and flour and mixed in. I have some leftover potatoes from another meal, and we can just mash it together and then massage it with knead it with flour to make little gnocchi balls. So the secret to making good gnocchi is not to have wet potatoes, but like the better way is to bake it and then do the gnocchi. But we have leftover potatoes. Since we have leftover potatoes, we're just gonna try to use that, mesh it, and then put in some flour and then make the gnocchi. So after you get it finally mushed, we're just gonna add flour and massage it into a certain consistency that you have to practice with. So it's about the consistency of Play-Doh, and if you want to, when you want to make the shape, basically we're gonna just let this rest in the fridge. But when you're ready to make the shape, basically you're gonna make long strips, cut it up in with a fork, and then make like little divots. There's actually a special little tool that the Italians have, that you can make the gnocchi by rolling it with your thumb. It's like a little grated, like a washboard, tiny one. But I don't have it, obviously, so we're just gonna use a fork. So about halfway through, we're gonna take this out and we're gonna try to remove everything and blend down the tomatoes. You'll see. So the beef has been braising. Everything's rendered down from low heat. You can see that the fat and the juices from the tomatoes are mixed and are boiling. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take out the beef pieces and blend it down. So now that's blended, we're just going to replace the beef back into that little broth, and it almost fell apart because it's really soft, and let it go on for the next 2 hours.
2 hours later.
My god, this is taking forever. But while it's taking forever, we might as well just make gnocchi. We're gonna boil some water, add some salt, and roll out the gnocchi. So fresh gnocchi is actually really good. It's one of my favorite things to make, and I have a memory. It was like one of my exes. uh, when we were at her place late at night, decided to make gnocchi for no reason whatsoever, and I don't know, the easiness of the recipe just kind of stuck. So once you have it rolled out, you're just gonna make little cut it out into like little gnocchi size uh, bites. And basically, I've never been very good at rolling things into the same size, but if you have that little machine, little like washboard thing, it kind of just is made out of wood and it just kind of rolls and makes the gnocchi shape. But you can use a fork and basically just press it down like that. Nyet, cut. Nyet, cut. So now that the water's boiling, we're gonna put in a gnocchi, and basically just a little one by one. It's gonna sink down to the bottom, and once they float up to the top, uh, they're pretty much done. And so it's been about 5-ish hours, so 5 and a bit, and we're gonna take out the meat from the oven. Ooh-wee. That's a little spicy meatball. And we're just gonna scrape some meat off. Ooh, and that looks amazing. And it should be super fork tender and just coming off the everything. Look, I don't even need a knife. So we're just gonna plate it. We're just gonna scrape it off straight from the pot and plate it onto. I'm not gonna put any greens. Maybe some parsley if I feel fancy. Oh my god. That just fell off the bone. And time for the finished product. For the thumbnail. Like, share, subscribe. Love, peace. Check you guys out later. The menu. Incidentally, we did gnocchi.